Section 61 of Up One Pair of Stairs of My Bookhouse. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Michelle Eaton. Up One Pair of Stairs of My Bookhouse. Edited by Olive Beaupre Miller. Elsa and the 10 Elves. A Swedish fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was a pretty, sweet-tempered little girl named Elsa. She lived on a farm, but her father, who was very proud of her, sent her to school in the city. There she learned reading, writing, singing, dancing, and a number of other pretty accomplishments, but she did not learn how to cook, sew, or care for a house. The truth of the matter was that Elsa was lazy and did not like anything that she called work. When she grew older, many young men wished her for a wife, but among them all she chose her neighbour Gunnar, a handsome, industrious young farmer. So the two were married and went to live on Gunnar's farm. At first they were very happy, but as the days passed, and Elsa did not direct the servants in their work, or see that the house was kept in order, everything went wrong. The provisions in the storerooms were tumbled about, food was found missing, and the house was dirty. Poor Gunnar was miserable, but he loved Elsa too much to say a word to her about it. The day before Christmas came. The sun had been up, and people bustling about the house for hours. Still Elsa lay fast asleep in her bed. At last a servant came into her room. "Oh, mistress," she said, "the master and his men are ready to set off for the woods. They are waiting for us to make ready their luncheon. What shall we pack in their lunch bags?" "Don't talk to me," said Elsa sleepily. "Leave the room." Soon another servant came in. "Dear mistress," she cried, "the bread dough has risen soft and light. If you come and knead it at once, the bread will be better than usual." "Go away," answered Elsa. "I want candle wicks, dear mistress," called a third. "Go away," answered Elsa. "What food shall we prepare for dinner tomorrow?" shouted a fourth. "Go away," answered Elsa. And so it went. Servant after servant came running into the room asking for orders, but Elsa would only answer, "Go away," and she would not get up. At last Gunnar could stand it no longer. There were he and his men, long delayed in their start for the woods because no one knew what to pack for their luncheon. So off he went to Elsa's room. "Dear Elsa," he said gently, "my mother used to prepare things the night before, so that the servants might begin work early in the morning. She did not lie in bed when the sun was up. My men and I are off now, with I know not what in our lunch bags. Surely you are ready by this time to rise. Remember there are a few yards of cloth on the loom waiting to be woven." Then Gunnar went away. As soon as he was gone, Elsa got up grumbling and yawning. After she had dressed herself, she slowly ate her breakfast, and then went loitering off through the kitchen to the little house where the loom was kept. But when she got there, she slammed the door behind her and threw herself down on a couch. "No," she cried, half sobbing, "I won't do this weaving. I won't toil and drudge. Who would have thought that Gunnar would make me work like a servant? Oh me, oh me, is there no one to help me?" "I can help you," said a deep voice. Then Elsa, raising her head in astonishment, saw an old man in a grey cloak and a broad-brimmed hat, standing close by her side. "I am Old Man Hoberg," he said, "and have served your family for many years. You, my child, are unhappy because you are idle. To be idle makes any man miserable. I will give you 10 obedient servants who shall do all your tasks for you." At that he shook his long grey cloak, and out of its folds tumbled 10 queer little men. For a moment they capered and pranced about, then they swiftly put the room in order and finished weaving the cloth on the loom. When their work was done, they came running up and stood in a row before Elsa as though awaiting her orders. "Dear child, reach hither your hands," said the old man. Trembling and uncertain, Elsa held out the tips of her fingers. Then he cried, "Hop o' my thumb, lick the pot, long pole, heart in hand, little Peter, funny man, away all of you to your places." In the twinkling of an eye the little men popped into Elsa's fingers, and the old man vanished from sight. For a moment Elsa sat staring at her hands. Then suddenly a great desire to work came over her. Up she jumped. "Why am I idling here?" she cried. "It is late in the morning and nothing done in the house," and she hastened off to the kitchen. Soon she was giving orders to the servants, setting things to rights everywhere, and singing while she prepared the dinner. When Gunner came home that night, all was clean and bright to welcome him, and Elsa's face shone brighter than all the rest. "Oho!" he cried heartily, "some good fairy has been here." Elsa smiled and held up her 10 rosy fingers. "10 good fairies," she said. After that Elsa rose early each morning and went about her work sweet-tempered and happy. The farmhouse prospered under her hands, and health and wealth and happiness came to stay when she learned how to manage those 10 little elves. End of Section 61.